It's a blessing to welcome on one of Marshall's all-time leading players, up in the top of the ranks in just about every other stat category, and now the newest member of Louisville's basketball team for next year, Jarrod West. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm doing well. How you doing?
Pretty good. Well, kind of walk us through this. We know it's been a hectic year. You wrapped up your Marshall career, named the portal, and you decided pretty quickly now. We know the names are constantly piling up in the portal right now, but you're out of it already. You're committed going to Louisville. Take us through how you're feeling.
I feel good, man. I'm just excited to be committed to a school, go to a school where I feel like is a good fit and a good opportunity for me. Go somewhere where the coach wants me, and so I'm feeling real comfortable and I'm feeling really excited right now.
Now we're getting into Louisville, we're getting all that in a little bit, but I really want to go through your story so that Cardinal fans can get to know you a little bit better. So obviously go back. You're from West Virginia. You attend Notre Dame for high school, but for starters though, what was it like growing up out there in West Virginia?
Um, it was cool, nice family atmosphere, knowing pretty much everybody around here.
Mhm.
Um, Went to a small private school called Notre Dame. There wasn't that many kids there, so I knew everybody in the school, but it was good. I enjoy it. I like Clarksburg, and I'm grateful to be from here.
So you go into high school, and obviously you have your career out there. You dominate. You get a state championship. You walk away with many awards. Just overall, though, like, freshman year, like, why did you choose to go to Notre Dame? Like, why the school that you want to go put yourself at?
Well, my dad, he was the high school coach there
Mhm.
before that I was there. But at the same time, I was just always around the school. I lived close in the area. I really did enjoy the school, so it was a pretty easy pick for me.
You look back at that. I said you walk with a state championship. You really achieved a lot of stuff out there. What was overall your overall overview? Like, what's your thoughts on this overall your career there?
It was a great career for me. Winning the state championship, winning state player of the year, being first team all state 3 times. That was all. Uh, those are all great accomplishments, and I feel like those aren't just accomplishments for me; they're for the entire school, really, for all the things they've done for me. So, being able to play for Notre Dame for 4 years is really a blessing for me.
And kind of following that family legacy, having your dad out there as a coach, and just kind of keeping the school in your blood and your family. What was that like?
It was really cool, playing for my dad, him being the coach there now, then me going through, and then now my brother going through. It's really cool to see all of us kind of be involved in that community and involved in that school. So it really means a lot to me.
I know that father and son relationship can sometimes be hard to manage when you're talking about player coach and father son. How do you guys learn to grow then? How did you guys kind of get normalized into that?
It was just kind of the relationship we built. The more we were doing it as player coach, the better we got. But a lot of it was just maturity by me and getting older, and our relationship was always close, so it really wasn't even that hard. To be honest, freshman year we bumped heads a little bit, but besides that, it was pretty easy and pretty smooth.
Take us through a little bit more of that state championship run, because obviously that's really the goal of anyone's high school career is to win a state championship. What was that year like being able to walk away from high school with a state championship ring?
One of the greatest feelings ever. Honestly, it was such a surreal feeling. Something that I've always wanted to do. Something I always dreamed of doing. And it was a hard fought year. We had some ups and downs, but we grinded it out. And after 3 hard years, before that, we finally got one. So
Mhm.
it was great for us, great for the school, and great for the community.
At the same time, you're going through this process and you're obviously doing your thing on the court, you're playing at a high level, but obviously the rankings aren't showing you. You're still an unranked type of guy. You don't have probably all the offers you originally were probably dreaming of, especially that kind of represent what you're producing on the court. How are you kind of handling that?
I mean, it was frustrating because I felt like I was better than that, but
Mhm.
I just kind of used it as motivation, added more chip to my shoulder, and honestly, it kind of fueled the fire for me. So at the end of the day, I just wanted to get better, work hard every day, and pick the right school that I felt like fit me. So
Mhm.
I just kept my head down, kept working, stayed positive, and try to stay prepared at all times.
We see this a lot. John, it's not just you, but we see a lot of these guys that are unranked or a lot not as valued as high as they probably should be in high school, come to college, they dominate. They create a great name for themselves. A lot of you guys even go out to the NBA and dominate, have long careers. And that vice versa, we also see a lot of guys that were higher ranked guys don't always pan out in college and are working their way stuff down throughout their career. Like, what's the result for that? Like, what allows you guys to kind of have that chip on your shoulder, that motivation to really go out and have great careers, even though you guys aren't really regarded as highly ranked players in high school?
Again, I think it just goes back to hard work, putting the time in, and you got at the end of the day, you got to believe in yourself to do all these things. You got to have confidence in your game and what you do. So a lot of it for me was just confidence, believing in myself, playing with that chip on my shoulder, and working hard and put the time in every day.
You do a few things that not anyone's ever done before. First of all, you were three-time All-State. That's a huge accomplishment. You also won the Bill Evans Award. What were those like, and how did you learn about that at Bill Evans Award?
Um, I always knew about the award growing up. It was a goal that I always wanted to accomplish, something I always wanted to do. But
Mhm.
being three-time first team All State and then going out with that award, that meant a lot to me. I think that just kind of um validated everything, all the work that I put in, and it was a great feeling for me. It was a great accomplishment.
Going through this recruiting process, you ultimately choose Marshall and you choose a coach, Coach D'Antoni, that obviously is an incredible coach. The family line, obviously, everyone knows the D'Antoni family heavily in the basketball world, NBA, college. But what was like being recruited by him? Like, what was it that's like learning from him and kind of having his pitch to you when you're going through the recruiting process?
It was really cool. I like Dan. We built a relationship, and he's a really good coach. So it was awesome knowing that he had been in the NBA. He had a lot. He has so much coaching experience,
Hmm.
and he's from West Virginia as well. So it was really cool. And he just, pretty much said that there was going to be an opportunity there, and just come in, work hard, and that we were going to have a pretty good team. So it was really exciting for me, and it was a good experience.
How did you know that was the right school? Talking going through that process, obviously seeing the school and all that, but what was really the reason that you knew Marshall was where you needed to be playing at?
It was close to home. I had a really good relationship with the coaches. They believed in me, and it just felt like home to me. Felt like the right spot, felt like the right place for me. Felt like there was a good opportunity for me to have success there. So at the end of the day, that's kind of where I wanted to choose.
We fast forward now 4 years after your career, and we see all the records you broke. Your name is top 10, like I said, almost every stat category. Obviously, an incredible career for you. Did you see that stuff for you, though? Did you kind of see yourself panning out to have this great of a career?
I always believed in myself to have that I could have that type of career. I don't want to say that I knew I was going to have that type of career, but I always believed in
Mhm.
myself and put the time in and worked hard to work toward that type of career. So it was something I always feel like I could achieve with hard work and just having confidence in myself.
How about Coach D'Antoni? Did he see yourself having this great of a career? Did he expect you to be the starting guard from pretty much day one? Like, what was his expectations for you heading into the career?
I think Coach Dan had a lot of confidence in my game, a lot of belief in me. I played with a lot of good players, so I
Mhm.
got to learn and grow and everything like that. But I think Coach Dan and all the coaches really, they did a good job of trying to develop me. They believed in me and they had confidence in me.
Let's head into that freshman year then. You guys have a great year and then making a tournament run. But at the right of the gate, you have produced big time numbers, big games. How are you that confident in your very first game?
Um, Again, it just goes back to the hard work and the time that I put in. A lot of hours in the gym, a lot of time of just going hard at practice and stuff like that. But again, I was just confident in my game and felt like I could play with all those guys. So I just went out there and played hard as I can and tried to have some fun.
Mention some of the older guys that were experienced and talented on that team. One of which is John, who we know is also one of the better players in Marshall history. Also have CJ out there. What was it like learning from those two guys?
Those guys are really good, man. They're definitely all time greats at Marshall, no question about that. So playing
Mhm.
with them every day, you really had no choice but to get better. Just competing with them, learn and watch them play. It was really an honor to play with those two guys. They're really good players and really good people. So I was able to learn a lot, and I'm grateful for that.
In that locker room, you spent time with John. What was some of the funniest things or funniest moments you have with him?
Um, I don't know anything specific off the top of my head right now. I'll think on it, but I'm not entirely sure really.
What would you say is maybe the biggest thing you learned from him, though? Like just being with the day-to-day life. He's obviously a professional player now. What was just like kind of learning from him?
Um, Kind of the way he goes about um kind of the way he goes about how he does it. He's a hard worker as well. He's a gym rat. He puts the time in. He loves basketball, and John was always a good guy, man. He was just a good person. So he did everything he was supposed to do to have a successful career, not just basketball wise, but everything else he did. He took care of everything he needed to do, but his work ethic was second to none. Something that was easy to follow.
And kind of going forward too, we see a couple of the big time guys you've been around. Another one, obviously, the big one, Taevion. We know how special he is. What's some of the similarities and differences between John, CJ, and Taevion?
They all work hard. That was definitely one of the things that they all do. They all put the time in. They all have developed. They all gotten better. And again, I feel like that hard work and that dedication was kind of the constant with all three of them.
Talk about Coach D'Antoni a little bit more. When you look at your guys' relationship, obviously as a point guard, as a guard, it grows. You have to have a super strong bond with him, probably closer than any other position does. You get that bond for now 4 years. How much did you see your guys' bond grow from the point he was recruiting you to the now today?
It was a lot of growth, man. Being with him every day for 4 years, going through the recruiting process as well. The confidence that we had in each other, the type of guy that Coach Dan was, the whole relationship grew more and more and continued to get better pretty much every year now. Great. Coach Dan's a great guy. He's a great coach, and he believed in me. So our relationship continued to grow.
We see him from the coaching standpoint. Sometimes it might be interviews we see a little bit of him off the court, but you get to be him all this time. You see his personality on and off the court. What's like off the court though? Just talking to him personality wise. What's Coach Dan like?
He's a great guy, great personality. He's a positive guy. He's always got a smile on his face. He's always speaking positive things, and he's got a great personality. You know, he can talk to anybody. He can talk about anything. He loves basketball, so it was really easy to be around him.
Is there a memory that comes to mind at first when you first start thinking about him?
Probably after we won the first round NCAA tournament game, him putting our sticker for the round of 32. That's something I can always remember him doing.
Without a doubt. Well, throughout that year, you do have a few different moments that you really kind of light up and you have big time games. But as you said, the biggest thing obviously for you guys was the tournament. You guys get in. That's anyone's college dream to get to the big dance. You guys pull off the big upset win over Wichita State that first round. What was that game like? How did you guys prepare for that? And what was like ultimately upsetting them?
It was a surreal moment. It was a great week of preparation for us. You know, we were just really excited to be able to play, and we didn't want to go home. You know, we didn't just want to make it. We wanted to win. So, you know, I'm really blessed that we got to do that. You know, like I said, it was just a great week, really, just a great week, great experience, and you know, we prepared and we wanted to win, and that's what we did.
And we see the videos of it. Obviously, you guys always get the water showers and all in the locker room after a big win like that. But how's that as a player? When you're in that locker room, you're celebrating, having fun, like what's the emotion that happens in the locker room?
Again, man, it's just a surreal feeling. I mean, it's one of those things that, like you said, you dreamed of your whole life, you know, and then you finally get to do it with your teammates and people that you love. Man, it was just a great experience.
In that freshman year, you really had one game that really started saying how special you could have been. It was November 19th against Illinois, 23-point outing for you. What went into that game?
Um, just have confidence, man. I was really excited to play against them. That was our first Power Five game that season, so I was just really excited to play. Again, I had confidence in my game. I was really looking forward to the game, so and I had a good game, so I just was trying to have fun and had confidence in my game.
We have to get into your defensive side of you because we know that you are one of the better defenders in the entire country. You've been about top 50 in steals in the country ever since a freshman. What kind of gave you that knack, though? Was it something you established in high school, college? Like, when did that defensive knack really come to you?
It's something I've always had. You know, my dad was a good defender. He's kind of preached that on us since a young age. So something I've always done. You know, and I just try to take it to another level once I got to college. But something I always kind of had.
Is that just a kind of an ability you have, or something you have to read past? Like, how do you become someone that is able to get that many steals?
Well, first of all, you got to want to play defense. It's more of a mentality, first of all. But second of all, you know, I do have like a good feel for the game, good IQ, and that helps me out a lot too. So it's kind of a mixture of, you know, just wanting to do it, having a good feel for the game, and at the end of the day, I want to win and I want to compete. So I got to do whatever I got to do to win the game. So if that includes getting steals, that's what I try to do.
And you are known as a tough man. That's the award you got in your freshman year. What was that award like? Obviously, it's within a team award, but what was it like getting that award?
Um, it was great, man. I was great to get recognized for that award. Something that you know, feel like everybody in kind of in the Marshall community feel like that award was meant for me. So that was grateful for me, and that meant a lot to me.
The second you guys have another special guy come in, we mentioned him a little bit ago, but Taevion comes in. We know he's one of the highest flying guys, probably in the entire world, no matter what you're playing in. What was it like just getting him, seeing him as a freshman walk in? What was your initial reaction to him?
Me and Tay we got close really early when he got to school in summer school. So it was real cool being around him, kind of seeing him grow and playing with him every day, man. It was something I'll always enjoy and I'll never forget.
As I said, he is one of the higher flying guys out there. What was your reaction the very first time you saw him throw down a dunk?
I just knew he was different. You know, it was cool to admire, cool to see in person, but I knew he was different from then on.
So were you shocked by that? Or did you kind of expect him, or did you know he was that bouncy?
No, I knew he was. I saw him and like I saw some highlights of him, so I kind of
Mhm.
had an idea. Just seeing it in person was really cool.
There's always dunks that he's talked about that he already does at practice that he might not do in games yet, but what's the craziest dunk you've seen him do so far?
He got put on overtime for it, I think. It was like
Mhm.
he did like a fake 360 between the legs. He faked it between the legs and dunked. That was probably the craziest one I've seen him do.
And you as a guard obviously makes your job a lot easier being able to throw up alley-oops to him. How do you guys go with that connection where you're able to kind of read him and be able to throw down the lob like that?
That's something we work on every day at practice. And again, it kind of goes back to, us playing together for 3 years. We had a lot of experience together. So we made that connection a lot. It was kind of a read and react type of deal, but we made that connection pretty good.
In that sophomore year, you do have a pretty solid year as well, but one big game for you happened January 3rd, Old Dominion first conference game. Take us to that game winner and really how that all went down.
It's a great game. I had a really good opportunity, good look, and those are the type of moments everybody lives for. So John threw a good pass and I knocked it down.
Was that play originally designed for you, or how did that all get set up?
No, it wasn't designed for me, but
Hmm.
uh, John has made a play. The ball was in John's hands, and it's always in his hands. Especially down the stretch of the game. So he just threw it to me because I was open. He some attention got drawn to Taevion on the pick and roll, and I ended up getting open, so I just knocked it down.
When would you say throughout your college career it really started clicking for you? Like, when did you really start settling down and feel, okay, I know I can assert myself as one of the better guards in the country. I know I can be a special guard. Like, when did it all start clicking for you in your college career?
I think junior year, kind of at the beginning of the year, I knew that I was kind of making that jump, and I felt like I'd gotten a lot better. So for me, that was kind of when I feel like um, I kind of made that jump into that type of player.
And the jump is evident. You go from 6 points to 14, 3 to 4. I mean, every number you pretty much increased by a ton. What led to that? Like the summer you're preparing for that? You know the guys have moved on now. John's gone, CJ's gone. How you were kind of preparing for that season?
Obviously knowing our guards were leaving, I knew I was gonna have to step up. So, I was just trying to prepare and stay as ready as possible. A lot of preparation over the summer, getting better in every asset. And again, I had a lot of confidence in my game. So I came in ready to go.
You also get a freshman to come on that year, and it's Andrew. Take us through him a little bit. Obviously, he's another kind of type of guard player. How have you kind of mentored him, and what's it been like seeing him grow now?
Andrew's a really good player. He works hard.
Mhm.
And he's turned himself into a really good player, and he's going to be good this next 2 years for him, especially. So, watching him grow has been something that's really good, man. And he's only going to get better.
So, as we just talked about, you had your 2 years of kind of sitting behind two great guys. He's done the same now. What do you expect from him now in his junior year? What kind of level can he bring to the court next year?
I think Andrew will make that jump, and I think he'll be an all conference player this year. I feel like he's going to be good enough to be all conference this year.
And you've learned to balance both scoring and assisting at a high level now. How do you do that? Because I know a lot of guys tend to be pass first or score first. You're kind of a guy who can go all around. How do you learn to balance that?
A lot of preparation, a lot of reps. The more in game reps, the better. A lot of watching film and studying the game and trying to learn what I can do better. So a lot of it was just trying to be the best all around point guard I can be.
Throughout your career now, you look at all the games you played in. What are some of the biggest ones you standing out to you? Is there one game specific that you'd say is your favorite one?
Definitely the conference championship my freshman year and the NCAA tournament games for sure. Um, Jeez, I'd say those 3 games are probably the top 3 games. I'd say.
You know, you're going to bring to Louisville, obviously, that winning mentality. You know what it takes to get to the tournament. That's a team that's done it multiple times now. But, like, what does it look like to have a winning locker room?
A lot of it's just the mindset. Something I've always tried to. I always wanted. I've always been a winner. Something I've always wanted to do. And it's just kind of a mentality. Try to do everything you can to win, or put yourself in the best situation to win. A lot of that goes through preparation and doing things the right way.
In terms of getting a locker room ready, because obviously you can bring it, we know what you can bring to the table, but how do you go in as the leader now? How do you get the entire locker room to buy into that winning mentality?
I have to lead by example. I got to go in and show what I can do and work hard, prepare hard, and pretty much, I think leading by example is the most important thing. If everybody sees me doing what I'm supposed to do, what I'm supposed to be doing, then I feel like it'd be everybody else to fall in line.
On the other side of the court, you obviously also are a high academic person. You made honor roll multiple times, you made all conference academic teams. We know you prioritize that. How have you learned to balance that though? And why do you put so much an effort and prioritization into your academics?
That's always something I've kind of balanced, through middle school and high school. Always wanted to make good grades. I knew I was going to have to make good grades to play. So it's just something I try to, focus on and take serious, but it's not really that hard.
So heading to senior year before getting to Louisville stuff a little bit deeper, obviously it was a pretty solid year for you guys, 15-7 record. Take us through this year, like what's the ups and downs of the year?
Obviously in COVID, it was a different type of year, but
Mhm.
we had a good season. We felt like we had a good team. Obviously, we didn't finish as strong as we liked, but COVID, different season for sure. So, but I'm blessed to at least get through the season. At least we're now still watching the NCAA tournament now.
Throughout this year, you've had now 3 college seasons of being normal, just like every other typical year. Then you have this curveball thrown in there where you're going through all the tests in the morning, you're having to go through all the protocols, locker room, everything the way it's established. What was it like adjusting this year?
It was tough, but at the end of the day, we knew we had to do to play, and we knew it was going to be a lot of sacrifices, a lot of different things, a lot of things that we had to adapt to, and we wanted to play. So we had to do all those things as best we could, follow the protocols, follow the rules, and it was tough, but we were able to play, so it's all right.
After the year, you put your name in the portal, and we know how crazy it's been, but you go in there, you get offers, and you get talked to by a ton of colleges all over the country. How are you kind of narrowing this down? Because I know you kept bringing it down, narrow it down to a small and small group of schools. How did you eventually narrow it down to the final group?
I just tried to find out what teams had the best fit for me, which coaches I liked the best, and who I felt like recruited me the best and who recruited me the most. At the end of the day, kind of going over all that day by day, and that's how I kind of narrowed it down.
Obviously, this one was a much different recruiting process than the past one we talked about. It was a lot lighter for the first time around. This time, like I said, you're getting calls from all over the place, the highest schools. Take us the difference of the 2 different recruiting processes for you.
In high school, I was getting recruited by a lot lower level schools, but I had a lot more time to go through the recruiting process.
Mhm.
This one was a shorter recruiting process, but much higher level of school. So really, 2 different type of recruiting processes, honestly.
Also, this one we know is 100% done through Zoom. There's not any on-campus visits or anything like that. How did you adjust to that?
It was tough. Obviously, you'd like to go see the campus and meet the coaches and players in person, and see the facilities in person. But
Mhm.
you got to do all of it on Zoom. And at the end of the day, that's what we had. So we just had to adjust.
So what separated Louisville? What was it about Louisville that separated themselves from your other options?
I feel like there's a great fit and great opportunity there for me to come in and play. Coach Mack did a really good job of recruiting me, and he's a really good coach. He's been successful in multiple schools now. Louisville has a great program, great tradition, great history. And, I just felt like it was a good school for me to go to.
If Louisville was in the picture for you, who would have been number 2 or was the number 2?
Um, I don't know, man. Pitt and Ohio State were pretty close together, so I don't really know, but it was close. Probably Pitt, though.
Without a doubt. Well, you're heading into this year. You know, it's your final college season, and you're going to a program that Coach Mack has obviously established himself, where he has a lot of guys he typically likes to transfer in at the guard position. He always utilizes them to a great amount, but what does he expect from you? Like, what does he want from you? What does he kind of expect for you to bring to the team this upcoming year?
He wants me to come in with a winning attitude.
Mhm.
He wants me to bring my toughness to the team. He wants me to be a leader, a veteran guy who can come in and do anything he asks and just lead the team.
There's a lot of aspects to your game, but we know you're on the ACC now. Obviously, the big conference, one of, if not the best conference in the country. How excited to be able to be part of that?
I'm really excited, man. ACC's arguably the best league in the country, so
Mhm.
it's going to be tough night in night out. But I'm really excited just to play against that level of competition every time.
Overall, though, we know that you're going to want to establish yourself for a lot too, but what's your goals for the season? Like, what do you want to get done for your personal self this upcoming year?
I just want to put myself in the best chance to get out on the court and play. And at the end of the day, I want to get back to the NCAA tournament. That's the biggest thing. I want to get back to the tournament and compete for championships.
There's a few of the guys Louisville has a name in for possibly trying to transfer into, but at this point in time, the guys that are on the roster, Do you know any of them? Have you talked to anyone yet?
I've talked to a couple of the guys just recently, but not much.
No doubt. Well, if you want to before I let you go, why don't we just talk about a couple things in your bio? One of which you do have is pinned in your Twitter. Take us through what that is and what that means to you.
It's kind of a mindset that I have. No one said it would be easy. All the things I want to accomplish, all the things I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's all part of the mindset and how I go about things. So it's kind of just a reminder for me to always, keep going.
You have to talk about this a few other times to this show, but you talk about the Bulldog mentality. You have that in your bio on both platforms. What does that mean to you?
Again, it kind of goes back to that winning mentality. Everything you get, you got to earn. Make sure you deserve everything you get. Work hard every day and just do anything you can to win. Man, it's just part. It's all part of the mindset.
Absolutely, man. Something I was like wrapping up discussing is building a legacy for yourself. And ultimately, when you are done playing this game of basketball, what do you want to be remembered for what you achieved both on and off the court?
On the court, at the end of the day, the most important thing I want to be recognized is as a winner. Someone who won and who was the ultimate leader on the court and off the court. Someone who impacts others, someone who built a lot of relationships, and someone who was, always willing to help others or nice to other people and just had a positive impact on everybody else.
I know you're also a believer. You're pretty vocal and talk about that too. And you even had in your commitment post, "I can do all things." How has God helped get you to the point you're at today?
Um, that's something that's always been a part of my life, but he's been very impactful. I've always tried to develop my faith, tried to grow my faith, and he's blessed me and he's given me many gifts and opportunities to get me to where I am today, and I'm definitely grateful for what he's done for me.
A lot of believers can be believers, but not all of them are very outspoken about it. Not a lot of them will go out and post stuff about it, especially when you put on a commitment video, the posts and all that. What's led you to be so vocal about it? What's led you to really be so outspoken about your faith?
I know how much my faith has impacted me in a positive way, and I'm not really afraid to show that. And I hope other people can understand how impactful it can be, and that they're not afraid to show it as well.
And God does have a story for everybody. And you also talk about that too. You say, don't fear his plans. Kind of walk us through that because a lot of people obviously can go ups and downs. They might not truly trust in God, especially if they're not a believer. How have you seen that God? How does he kind of walk you through your story and make the story you've had so far?
He's been there the whole time. Again, it kind of goes back to all the opportunities that he's given me. I've been through a lot of adversity as well, but he's got me through. He guided me through it. But just knowing that I can kind of trust in him and lean on him has got me through everything. So it kind of goes back to just kind of growing in your faith and developing that faith as much as possible.
Without a doubt, man. Well, my final thing for you, give Louisville fans your three biggest goals you have set for your Louisville career.
Win the regular season ACC title, win the ACC championship, win the national championship.
Without a doubt, man. Well, I definitely appreciate you taking time to come on today and look forward to seeing what guys got next for you, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Of course, will come on, man. God bless.
All right, man.